Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick here, and I wanted to share a fantastic little trick with you, a means of extending the use of your framelit dies, specifically regarding the Snowflake Wishes stamp set. Now, I did a project recently with this sentiment, and I wanted to use the stitched rectangle dies for the sentiment, but I had a problem because if I use this one, let's see if I can get these both in the screen here. If I use this one, it's a good width or height, but it's not wide enough, right? And if I go with a long one, this one's an even better height and it fits my sentiment very well, but it's still not quite long enough. So how do you get the framelit to go around your entire sentiment? That's a mystery, isn't it? Let's do this. I'll show you how. Okay, first things first, we'll grab our handy dandy die cut machine, and I'm gonna put everything over here on this side so that you can see, and you'll have to excuse my well-loved and used plates. All right, so the first thing that I want to do is line up my die where I want it to go, and of course with that magnetic platform. There we go. It's going to try to give me a hard time. All right, now once I have it in place, I'm going to put the top plate not all the way over the top of the die. So you can see here, the die actually ends here, but my plate stops right here. And this is important because I actually don't want to cut the end of that just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through the die cut machine. And you hear it click, that means that it went off the edge. And then you end up with a partial die cut, right? Now what I want to do is line up the other side and basically do the same thing. Now with the stitched rectangles, it's actually very helpful because you can feel the stitching engage with the other stitching that's already there. So it helps you line up your image so that you can do a nice perfectly aligned piece. So we'll just want to maybe check to see that we have 2 stitches on either side, so it's lined up with the right ones. And then we'll put our paper down, and this time we're going to put the top plate over this section and not this section, okay? So the key is you want to only cover half of the die, or a little more than half of the die, but not go all the way to the end. So I typically like to go about 2/3 of the way, because if your die is a bit smaller, then it may not go all the way if you only do half, okay? So if you do the whole thing like that, you end up with a beautifully die cut. Well, let me get this out of the way so we can see. Here's the image, and here is the die, and you can see that it's just a little bit longer, not much, but a little bit longer than the die itself. And that, my friends, is how you extend the size of your die cutting. All right, I hope that helps. Enjoy!